This conference will now be recorded.
Yesterday we are learning about charges and allocation. Charges and allocation. Okay. So for these charges, so how to create charges? How to create charges? Let me show you. Yesterday I have shown you like how to do this mapping. I mean to say allocation of charges we understood, but where and how to create charges I have not explained. Let me show you now the focus on how to create charge codes. I'm just opening the application freshly. So if you want to create charge codes like transportation charges, loading, unloading charges, insurance charges, whatever it is, you can go to accounts payable module, setup, not setup, sorry, payment setup, charge setup, sorry, charge setup, charge codes. So here I have created one charge code like item and vendor. This is in standard is not there. I have created item and vendor. So what is this means? Debit the item and credit the vendor. Means normally if it is vendor invoice is posted, this is inventory receipt account data to vendor account credit. Vendor account credit. This is inventory receipt account means in the system it is cost of purchased material invoice. The field name is, actual name is this one. This you are mapping in the item group or posting form. This you are mapping in the vendor posting profile. And there is one more, purchase expenditure uninvoiced, sorry, purchase expenditure per product. Remaining people, are you able to hear me? Venki is not able to hear. Remaining people, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes,
So
sir,
Venki,
we can hear you. fine. So purchase expenditure for product, it is 0. These accounts are posting. Now you are adding charges, transportation charges. The transportation charges should be updated to the item master, yes or no. You need to tell to the system, and whether it should be updated to the vendor account or no. If you want like that, then you need to map item and vendor. So the material cost, suppose this is 10,000, it is 10,000 material cost, and vendor account also it will be posted 10,000. Now transportation charges is 500. This transportation charges, whether you want to add here or not, that is 500. If you want to add plus here, then you need to map item should be debited. Okay,
and credit should be updated here. Then you need to update. If you want plus 500, then it should be credited, credit to the vendor account. Then which scenario it will not be updated here? Suppose the truck is not provided by vendor. This is third party vendor. Third party vendor means, suppose take the example Agrawal Transports, Navata Transports, Agrawal Transports, Navata Transport, like a third party vendor. Then instead of vendor, we will select ledger account. That's what here it was mapped. Okay, so not this one. We'll map here instead of vendor account, we'll map ledger account. And here we need to map freight. It is order freight, I think. Little bit tricky. It will not be in order. It will not be in order. So you need to select order freight, and you need to map. For that transport vendors, you need to create one ledger account, Navata Transport or something. So freight transporting. If you map like this, what happened? Instead of vendor account, it will post to the third party vendor, whatever you have mapped. 600 612 600 120. It will post it to 500. Make sense? So this is based on the setup how you are configuring. Item account, item debit, and third party vendor account credit. This is a transport vendor, Navata Transport kind of thing. Understood? Any questions here? Any confusion here? Any confusions?
So
So
one
this
question.
six series account is the expense, correct?
Yes, I can create a transport as a vendor. So we don't have third party vendor can be selected, transport vendor. We don't have option. This is not a direct solution. It is a workaround solution.
So if you have to create a like freight vendor, then you will go through subledger, correct? No?
Yeah. So this is material vendor. This is transport vendor. For transport vendor, we don't have option at this point. But if you want that one, there is advanced warehouse management. Another modules are available, like transportation management. This is part of logistics, transportation management. One more module called, recently it was introduced, landed cost in 10.0.17. In version 10.0.17, landed cost module was introduced. So there it will be possible, like you can select a third party vendor. The old function, it is not available. You cannot select as a vendor. This is for transportation. You cannot map third party vendor in the system. It is for the ledger account.
Okay, so it will go to the GL accounts. Okay, so but in this case, the GL account won't be 6 series, correct? Because it's an expense account. Or will it go to 6 series only?
So see, that is
It
your
cannot
wish.
be-
That is
No,
your
no,
wish.
it's not.
You can map. Yeah. Proceed.
It's not like our wish or because we have to see the accounting, correct? In this case, if we are paying, because this 500 we need to pay to the transport vendor, correct? So because the expense is already added to the inventory now,
Yeah.
500.
So
So the credit, this is a credit entry, correct? So
in 2 series, you can map like
so we can map
200.
to any account. It's not, yeah, it's okay. It's not 6 series account. Okay.
You can
It'll be
map
a
like
payable account, yeah.
vendor payable account, transport vendor.
But how will we pay that guy? Because in this case, it's hitting directly the GL, correct?
So you need to pay to the ledger account.
Oh, okay, okay. While paying, we select the ledger, okay, instead of vendor. Okay.
Okay. So it is third party vendor you cannot select directly. Vendor you can create vendor and you cannot select. That is possible. That is not possible in the direct environment. In this one, if you want like that functionality, it is a landed cost module is introduced in 10.0.17 like 6 months back.
Is there a way, like, if we create this this transportation vendor as a vendor master and try to add it there?
That is it is possible in the transportation management.
Or you cannot just create a vendor here and map it like something like that.
It's not
No.
possible. Not possible. So if you want, then you can use these 2 modules, transportation management or landed cost module. These are linked to warehouse management, advanced warehouse management. These are tightly integrated. Okay. So as I told you, like if you want to understand that one, if you go to this modules, all modules, we need to understand a lot of setups here: warehouse management, transportation management, and landed cost. Okay. Fine. Ajay, is it clear for you? At least it is very difficult for everyone, remaining people. But is it clear?
Yeah. It's fine.
So now, so here we are mapping a third party vendor. Instead of vendor, we are mapping the ledger account. Of course, you can map in 2 series as a liability account. A transport vendor you need to map. Let me verify payable to transportation. Transportation payable. So I'm taking example like I'm taking commissions payable as at present at this point I'm taking this one, suppose. So this will post to this account. So here this is, you are not posting posting to the vendor account, you are posting to this third party vendor, because Navata Transport, Agrawal Transports, this is transportation. So for that you need to map like this. Understand everyone? One is item and vendor. Instead of vendor, if it is a material vendor, means whoever is providing material, like suppose washing machines and transport also provided by the washing machines vendor, you can select vendor directly. You can select directly vendor like this. Means the transportation is also arranged by whoever is providing washing machines. Washing machines is providing by, suppose, Raghu Enterprises from Mumbai. Then the same vendor is providing truck also. Truck charges also I need to pay to the same Raghu Enterprises. Then it is this process. Suppose Raghu Enterprises is not arranging this transportation, then you need to select ledger account for transportation. Then you need to select ordered freight. So little bit tricky, you need to select in the drop down.
It is not alphanumeric. Alphabetic, it is not alphabetic. You need to select, and you need to select the account for which account you need to map. This is, you need to create one ledger account for Navata Transport, Agrawal Transport. Then it will post to this account. Understood, everyone? Any confusion here? Fine. Now this is fine. We understood. Next one is, it is invoiced. So at the time of invoice, I have not received. This is, I have not received invoice. This transportation, Navata Transport or Agrawal Transport, they have not given invoice copy. The regular invoice copy I have received. The regular invoice copy I have received. The material, suppose washing machines I have received 10,000, 10,000. It was posted. Now material, it is received, and invoice copy also from like suppose Raghu Enterprises or Ramana Enterprises, I have received material. Now after invoicing, now I have received this Navata Transport or Agrawal Transport. Transportation charges $500. Now how to do it? Understood the question? First I understood. Are you able to understand my question here? The material invoice is received. The material invoice, washing machine invoice I have received. Transportation invoice I have received after 10 days. After 10 days I have received invoice copy. Then what I have to do? So we don't have direct solution. There are two splits. This should be updated to the inventory. One is for inventory effect. Another one is vendor account. So for this one, I can create one invoice journal. Means accounts payable, invoices, invoice journal. I can post Navata Transport here. You can select the ledger account. I can post the invoice journal. This is for vendor account. For vendor account update, you need to select invoice journal. If you update invoice journal, it will not affect inventory. It will not affect inventory. Now I want to update inventory effect also. For this, we have option. After invoicing also you can do adjustment journal. Let me show you. Let me go to purchase order, accounts payable, purchase orders, all purchase orders. So suppose take the example, this is the invoice. Okay, invoice is posted already. Invoice is posted. Now I want to add charges, transportation charges. For that you can have option called charges. Already posted charges. If you want, you can see here. It is not there. Now you can add charges for this item. Let me open this purchase order first. What are the items available here inside? Let me see. Okay, this is M00 item, M008. It was already invoiced. Now if you go to the invoice,
Now I'm adding charges adjustment. Okay, before this, let me show you this M008. What are the transactions? Released product, product information management, released products. Little bit tricky, let us understand. So M008, let me filter by M008. For this one, if I click on transactions, okay, so let me verify the purchase order number. '63 PO0063, this one. Let me verify transaction details. So look at this one. It is the cost amount is physical cost amount 81,600. The cost amount also 81,600. And even if you verify the cost amount, the transaction posted amount, if you verify here, 81,600. Okay. Now, if you go back to transactions, transaction details, $81,600. Adjustment amount 0. Now I'm doing adjustment. Suppose $400 I'm adding here. I'm adding some charges. Suppose take the example insurance charges, something. Insurance copy I have received or transportation, whatever it may be. Okay, now click on here based on the net amount. Based on the net amount, you are updating. Click OK. This is you are adding after invoicing. Now, if you verify transportation details, if you refresh, whatever you have added, that 400 will be added here. Give me a second. Let me close and let me open. I think it is in the standard cost method. It will not affect. I will show you one more transaction. So this is actually why it is not affecting. The reason behind it is standard cost method. Give me a second. I have taken wrong example because this is, if it is a standard cost, it will be processed differently. This is a standard cost. Let me take another item and let me show you. Give me a minute, because this is a standard cost means there is another functionality, standard cost functionality. Let me take normal item. This is standard cost method means differently it is there. Okay, so let me take another example. This one invoice. Let me verify what is the item inside. Okay, 1000 item. For this 1000 item, I will explain you what is the reason behind why it is standard cost method. It will not affect.
Okay, I will discuss with you later, but that is related to standard cost methods is more about manufacturing process. But I will give you clarification only. Okay, here now this item 1000, this item 1000, FIFO. So for this purchase order invoiced, so it is 899. Invoice, it is taxes also included, 5672. Let me verify this purchase order number is 61. Transactions 61. This one, give me a minute. This purchase order 61, if you verify, it is 5472.66. Okay, if you verify the transactions, okay, 5472.66. Now what I will do, I will add some charges, either it may be a transportation charges or insurance charges, whatever it may be. I'm adding some charges. Suppose the same insurance I'm selecting, I can select any one, no issues. Suppose 400. Now net amount, based on the net amount we are updating. So it is processing. Now if you verify the transaction details, if you refresh, adjustment amount will be updated here. $400 adjustment amount. Okay, standard cost it will not affect. Standard cost it will not affect. Standard cost is a different functionality. It is more about manufacturing, that we will discuss later. Standard cost I will discuss with you later. So for standard cost it will not affect. For normal remaining methods it will be. So 400 is updated inventory. And invoice journal, we are posting normal invoice journal. This one we are posting invoice journal for vendor account. So this is a workaround solution for already invoiced copy. If you want, you can do it. Understood? Any questions here? Any doubt in this? So anything, Manoj, if you want to discuss?
No, sir. Instead of replying to Venkat, I replied.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
No problem. So this is one more option. After invoicing also, you can do adjustment. So direct solution is not there. It is like one is invoice journal you are posting, separate invoice journal for vendor account, and suppose inventory adjustment journal separately. Any doubts till now about these charges?
Sorry, is this the only way or we have another option as well?
Another option means once it is invoiced means this is the only one option.
Okay, that's what adjustment to be done in only this way or any other way also.
This is the only one solution.
So once you have invoiced, correct? So will it hit this? What is your entry?
Once it is in, sorry, come again.
Like once you have done this allocation charges, correct?
Hmm.
So So your entry, obviously it will debit to the inventory, correct? Or whatsoever is the inventory receipt by
Yes.
500. And
Yeah.
credit which vendor? Because now in this case it's the same vendor, correct? Yeah.
Now, actually, this allocation you are not executing at the time of purchase order, am I right?
Yeah. So
Because
yes,
this third party, yeah, tell me, yes, Ajit.
so it has to hit some vendor, correct? So in that case, the invoice vendor is whatsoever you bought the material, correct? So it will hit the same vendor, correct? Not the freight vendor.
So it is after invoicing means this is a third party vendor only, am I right? It will not be the normal vendor. Agree with me? If you are receiving separately invoice copy means it is not the material vendor, it is a freight vendor. Agree that one?
Yeah. So in the system, will we see like this 500? Like, can you show the entry?
So for this one or this one, one is inventory adjustment. This is it will be automatically adjusted to the inventory account. Okay, this is extra you are going to post vendor invoice journal for third party transport. Agrawal transport, you need to enter invoice journal separately. Got my point?
So
This
that
is
would be,
yeah.
so this is like the entry you did just now, correct? That is invoice journal is separate, independent of PO.
Yes, exactly.
So that is independent.
See, this is what I did in this one. It is for only inventory effect. It is effect what it will, whatever it is there, it was hit to the inventory account only.
So there is no accounting journal created over there?
It will be there, but I will show you what it is.
Can you show the journal? That will make sense, yeah.
1 minute. So from
What
where
that allocated charges?
1 minute.
So this 400, what got debited and what got credited?
So 1 second. It is inventory debit account and expenses account will be created. I will show you that one. Give me. Not this one. So from where, like where it is available, that voucher I am not able to show you, but I will show you. Give me a minute. What it will hit. Adjustment journal entry. So it is in the inventory management. So it will hit to this account. Inventory management, setup, postings and postings. So these accounts will hit. Inventory receipt account and these two accounts. These two accounts will be hit, but I'm not able to show from where it is available because that is through adjustment journal it will be there. Because the path I did not remember where it is hit. It is not a regular scenario. It is where it is available, but it will hit to these two accounts. Look at this one. Okay, let me try where it is available. Give me a second. That is adjustment journal entry. This 400 entry. Inside, actually, I did not remember the path. So this is adjustment. Okay, give me a second. Let me verify these transactions from here, whether it is available or not. No, it is posting to the transaction only. Give me a second. That is original transaction it is showing. I think it is in settlement. Okay, let me verify. This is adjustment. This is account, balance sheet account. Okay, let me verify the voucher. Is there any possibility of voucher from here? Yes, this is the entry. So these two accounts are here. One 40200. Okay. What is the account earlier? 1 second. It is 606,200 insurance amount. Okay, this is posted to the insurance account, whatever you have selected. This account, one is account, this one, whatever you have mapped in this account, 140,200 based on the groups. Okay, another account is the ledger account, what you have mapped in the charges. You want me to show that one?
In the charges, we map two series, no, isn't it?
No, insurance, it is posted to insurance now. We have posted insurance, am I right? Let me show
No,
you that.
no, it's not insurance, it's the freight vendor, correct?
I have mapped insurance. I have posted insurance. If you want, I will show you once again one more transaction. I have posted temporary accounts as insurance accounts. This one I have mapped.
The last
I have
one.
entered. Yeah, this is the account.
No, the vendor freight is the last one, correct?
No, I have not posted to this 400. I have posted insurance. Let me show you once again. If you want, give me a minute. I will post one more entry, 200. Okay.
No. If you go back to that setting, there are vendors and insurance.
See, I have posted to the insurance amount. That's what I'm telling you here. Give me a minute. I will show you once again one more transaction. I will post for the same account, for the same purchase order, 61. While posting this one, I have selected insurance. That's what I want to tell you. For same 61, I will do one more. Give me a second. Insurance invoice. Same 61 purchase order. So while posting here, I have selected insurance 400. This I have selected insurance 400, the first one. Now, if you want this one, I will show you this one only.
Okay, got it. Okay, based on this, it's driving. Okay.
Yeah. If you map 200, then it will be posted to this 200 only. Clear?
Yep. Yeah. And then, okay, based on the mapping, what you've done there.
Yes, exactly. These all are internal mapping.
Sir, please continue the process. It's a little confusing.
Sure. Yeah, fine. So here, this system will take care about this one. First thing is like, if you want to do postings after invoice, after invoice, you can do postings like here, from here, charges, and you can do the adjustment journal. If you do this one, what happens? It will impact to the inventory and the charge codes, whatever it was mapped. Okay, it will post to the inventory account. It will post to the inventory account. So if you verify now, 200 I have added one more 200 entry I have posted just now. Okay, so now it will become 600. Look at this one. Give me a second. Let me pause, close and open. Yeah, now it was posted to 600. Understood? This is inventory effect. This is affecting the inventory only. So inventory effect, it is posted. And invoice journal means for vendor Agrawal Transport, you need to generate invoice, that is invoice journal you need to post. Normal invoice journal you need to post. So accounts payable, collapse all, invoices, invoice journal you need to post to the vendor account separately. Understood? For junior people, like for new to ERP, there will be two things. One is inventory effect, one is inventory like invoice journal. So you need to do invoicing from here. Like click new, select the journal name, go to lines, because invoice is already posted earlier. Of course, this is a little bit tricky functions, means complex scenario, little bit complex scenario for junior people. You need to select the ledger account. This is a third party vendor. Third party vendor you need to select. Suppose this is a Navata Transport or Agrawal Transport. Take the example. So you are mapping the ledger account directly, and the invoice name, invoice date, and invoice number you need to enter, and enter that 500 or 400 invoice whatever you have received, and then expenses whatever it is there. Then you can post this one.
So in this case,
Hmm.
we can create the vendor also, correct? If you're doing the invoice journal separately, why we need to do it?
But always it is not a third party, am I right? Always if you are doing separately, then you can create a vendor and you can map it. But along with invoice you receive, then you need to map ledger account. Make sense?
Can you repeat again what you said?
So you have received invoice copy. This along with this one, you have received third party vendor also. You need to update.
Yeah, in that case, okay, the system doesn't allow, then you do at a ledger account, correct?
Yeah.
That is fine. But now if you receive the copy separately, correct, and you want to create the invoice journal,
yes, you can select
then
a
I
vendor.
can create a vendor also, correct, and then do, because how will you do the payment? Because now payment is at the vendor level, correct? Not at the
You can do the
GL
payment
level.
for ledger account. You can see there are two scenarios. If you are separate invoices, always you can create a vendor.
No, in this case now you did a ledger account, correct? 2 series account. Now it's not a vendor, it's at the ledger account, GL accounts, correct?
Yeah.
How will you pay the GL accounts?
So I'm taking the complex scenario. Suppose here you can do like a vendor, like if it is a third party vendor, always if you are receiving separately, then you can create a vendor and you can do it. If it is along with this one, suppose it is generated along with invoice, then you can do the payment for the ledger account also. It is possible. Payment against the ledger account.
Payment against the ledger account, or is always vendor payment?
Yeah, it is possible. So if it is along with invoice you have received, then you need to pay to the ledger account only, am I right?
Yeah, can you? Yeah, okay.
So
Can
if
you
it
show
is
me?
invoice, see this one, you can select the ledger account.
Or you have to make the setting and then select it?
It's not setting, it is only in general tab you are selecting the ledger,
Okay. And then come back and do it.
and you can do the payment for this commission account, commission payable.
Okay, got it. Got it. Got it.
Okay, Mr. Satya Prakash here.
Yeah, Prakash.
Means we did a payment of charges, means we did a payment of charges separately by doing adjustment. So that's why at the time of payment also we need to do the adjustments only on GL to GL instead of vendor, correct?
Not only that one, during invoice I have received invoice copy. This is 10,000 is material charges and 500 is the
Correct.
transportation charges. Okay. So
Okay.
now you are
Okay.
posting this this account, third party vendor, not this vendor account. You are posting to this third party vendor 200 to 160 like transport.
Yeah.
You are mapping to this 500.
Correct.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Then I need to do the payment for this one. Am I right?
Because we are not creating each and every vendor for transportation because of different type, different vendor is coming there. So that's why we
Yes.
are putting that to direct here.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And if you are selecting this ledger account, if you are selecting the ledger account, system will allow you to name the, like you need to enter the name of the vendor account also. While doing this
Okay.
payment, you can select the ledger account. You can select the ledger account and you can do the payment for the name. 1 second. One minute.
Yeah, this is little bit like deviating from other ERP, yeah, because usually you have vendor because the payment details and all has to come from vendor.
Yes, but in this we don't have that function. So you need to select the ledger account and you need to do the payments.
Yeah, yeah, ledger account, but still, if you select the ledger account will not know like if it is a wire, which bank account of vendor needs. So somebody has to enter manually for that ledger account.
Because it is your vendor payment, am I right? It is not depending on the vendor bank account. It is your vendor, means your bank. Your
no,
bank
no,
account.
no, not my bank account. See, this ledger account 2 series is Agarwal Transport, correct?
Yes.
So I'm paying Agarwal Transport. Now I don't know. This 2 series will not tell me what is the bank details of Agarwal. I know from my side, I know what bank I have to that, but what is the bank detail of Agarwal? Because if I'm doing a wire to Agarwal, I need Agarwal's bank account detail. You're getting my point?
Yeah, but actually, so you are giving check,
right? No, forget about check. I am not doing check. I want to, Agarwal says me to, okay, they want wire in their bank account, not a check. I have to honor what payment they want, correct? What form of payment they want. In this case,
it is completely product limitation on third party vendor. This is a workaround solution I told you. This is not a direct solution. If you want those things, you can use. Now that is the reason I told you the new modules are introduced. Landed cost module.
I'm still getting confused because I don't think so. If you want to use advance and all, like still the payment you should be able to make these basic scenarios. These are not complicated scenarios. These are very basic scenarios for ERP.
So I'm working with this one Dynamics 2009 also. From year 2008. From 2008, I'm looking for this one because whenever I'm attending interview, if the interviewer want to make me a complex scenario, they come back with third party vendor. I want to post to the vendor account. What is the solution? This is the first question I have received from 2008. From last 12 years, if I'm attending interview,
the people will ask me to complex whether I can give an answer to them or not. So this is a product limitation from Microsoft.
Okay. So in case, no, I just want to understand. So in case now, if that 2 series account, if I want to do a check also, how will you get the name of the vendor,
That's
like
what
Agarwal Transport?
you can enter the name. That's what I want to tell you here. I can enter the name of the vendor in the here in somewhere else. It is, I think, here. So it will be like Navata Transport.
Okay, so that is the workaround for check. But what is the workaround for wire?
So we don't have.
Or
So
you
we
don't
don't
have. So then other way is to reclassify, create a vendor like
You
other
can
way
use
would be
that.
to,
Always
other,
separate vendor noise.
no,
Separate.
if you go to your notepad, correct?
Hmm.
In scenario 1, you cannot create a separate vendor because it's happening together, correct? So that 2 series account need to hit as a credit entry. So another alternative is to do a reclassification, reclassify, create Navtar as a transport and do another journal entry, classify from 20160 account as a debit and credit to the vendor. Now then in that case, you have the vendor amount in that vendor and the payment.
Oh, that is also fine. That is also fine. Otherwise, you can make a separate invoice always.
And in that case, no,
Yeah.
if you it has to happen at the same time, correct? You don't want to, if it is a limitation, if you delete that account and then you do a reclassify entry and create actual vendor for the transport vendor and put the value credit amount to that vendor and then pay you.
Yes, exactly. That is also possible. Yeah, that is also one more example. Like you can create a vendor settlement one journal, and then you can create you can do the payment
Because in
for
that
vendor.
case, you can use, if it is a wire, you have the wire details in the master data, or if it is a check, automatically the name will populate and all those things.
Yeah, you can do it. Yes, that is also possible.
As a workaround, because if it is a limitation with the system or ERP kind of thing.
Yes, you can use that function also. Okay, fine. So a little bit a tricky complex scenario we have discussed. Of course, for junior people it is confusing. Don't worry on this one because this is a tricky scenario. For junior people, they may not get this kind of challenges, but if you learn, that will be good for you, but little bit complex to you. Some people, like maybe few people in this, they are not able to understand, they are not able to follow whatever I have explained. So the invoice, the thing is like, if it is a transportation charges is provided by third party vendor, then there is a product limitation. For that we have workaround solutions.
Is Microsoft coming up with some roadmap for
That's
to
what
address
it told you, like this one.
No, this is new model you have to use, correct? Because there would be a bunch of configuration for this for ERP itself. Like if I don't want to go with this transportation and advanced warehouse management within this.
Now within this it is not there. Within this, so even senior people, my friends also will wait for me. They will ask, like keep on asking, like, is there any solution? No.
So Microsoft is yet not coming up with any solution in this. Okay.
This is the only one area I'm facing from last 12 years. If I'm facing challenges, like I mean to say, if it is interviews happening for me, they will ask first question like how to mitigate this solution. We don't have. So like whenever I'm facing interview, I need to speak strongly like it is not available. Right? Senior people, if it is senior people are attending interview, they will tell like if it is not available, it is not available strongly. But for junior people, they will think like maybe it is available, something I don't know, they will think. But I will strictly inform to the opposite interviewer, it is not available by default. Only workaround solutions.
Got it. So product limitations.
Yes. Yeah. Fine. I know, like, so for many people it is disappointing to your mindset. I know, like whoever is juniors, don't worry on this today's session. Whatever I have discussed, if you are able to follow, fine. If you are not able to follow, leave it. So tomorrow I will start with the new session with the new function. This is little bit tricky scenario I have discussed.
I think maybe few members, 3-4 members they have followed, remaining people are not followed. This is my assumption. Don't worry on this session today, whatever I have discussed. If you are not able to follow, leave it.
Yeah, maybe you can recap for them tomorrow, maybe 5 minutes.
But it is very difficult to mind their mindset, whoever is new to the CRP. It's very difficult for them to follow.
Yeah, this is some about accounting also, correct? So it's two combination.
Yeah, many complicated scenario. Fine. So forget about this today scenario, like whoever is new to the CRP, freshly learning, today's session, whatever I have discussed, it is discussed with a few people only today. Don't worry on this one. If you are not able to follow, leave it. So if the interviewer is asking like third-party vendor postings, then you can reply like, I did not get chance to work with that feature. Third-party transport vendor. Okay, fine. So apart from this session, any questions? If it is this session also, no issues, but for juniors, any questions, anything? From tomorrow onwards, it will be, you will understand. Yes, please.
So can you show the related voucher transactions for this one, the one present?
Okay. So invoice transactions, this one, if you go to transaction details, little bit inside it is there. Okay, you can click on inventory, settlements. Regarding this 600. Okay, 200. You can click on the voucher. Now this is actually vendor freight. So it will post to the inventory account versus the ledger account, whatever it was there. It is 200, 160 something, it is there, that account. Commissions payable. This is inventory account, this is commissions payable. And the charge codes, whatever you have mapped. And this is inventory account. Clear? Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fine. Any more questions? If nothing, then we can wind up the session for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So with the new topic, most probably I will discuss with you. Yes,
Hi,
please.
Sadhya.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
this is Ramna. I have a small question regarding that entry only. So for that 10,000 amount, we have posted one journal entry like inventory receipt account data to vendor account. So we separately received for 500 amount for that
Yes.
transportations. But then entry for that 500 journal entry. Yes, that's the question.
500
Separate entry. Why don't we use the separate entry for that transportation?
So that's what we have entered separately.
Yeah,
Now
you
after,
haven't not like not in the application. Just explain the notepad about the entry. You have explained the inventory receipt account data to vendor account for the 10,000, right?
yes. Yeah.
For transportations also, what will be the entry for that 500 amount separately?
Okay, fine. So see, if you map here in this, charge codes, in this charge codes, you have mapped item and ledger account.
Yes.
Item and ledger account. If you map like this, item means this account only, the same account it will be posted. It will not be posted separately, it will be posted to this account.
Yeah, you have said after 10 days we have received the transportation
Okay.
amount, whatever it may be.
This is during invoice. During invoice, it is hitting to the inventory account. Okay. And
Yes.
vendor account, like it is not the direct vendor, it is third party vendor. So it is 2220110, whatever you have mapped. Will be mapped. This account will be posted to credit. Make sense?
The entry is same for the transport also, right?
Yes. Yeah. So along with this one,
Thank
if it is
yeah, yes,
vendor,
yes.
if it is a truck is provided by vendor only, then it will be added here only
Yes.
instead of this one.
Thank you.
Make sense? If it is a third party vendor, like this. Okay. Any more questions, please? Any more? Fine. If nothing, then we can wind up the session for today. We'll continue tomorrow with a new topic. So tomorrow I will explain you like ledger allocation rules. General ledger topic, general ledger module, ledger allocations rules. We'll discuss on that one tomorrow. Okay. So if it is bouncing today for junior people, don't worry, leave it this one. If it is a third party vendor transportation charges, I did not get chance to work with this feature, like that you can answer simply. Okay, fine. See you all. Bye.